So I guess I have to put this in a different light. We've been talking about solar plexus, chakra 7, color yellow, element fire. Now, I've known this all my life. The Lee and Dawkins family kidnapped me from my dead Mr. Cabin in Mississippi, that I affectionately called him. My mom is Diane Carroll, and my dad is Sidney Portier. I finally found my birth parents. Sam, Sally, and Dolores, Sam's sister, Jessie Lee Lipscomb's daughter, Venus Lipscomb, kidnapped me at 6 years old from Winstonville, Mississippi. In doing my research to reconnect and regain my relationship with myself and personal power, I'm so angry right now. My dad loved me so much, and he was so proud of his little girl that he showed me all around Winstonville, Mississippi. His name is Sidney Portier. My mom's name is Diane Carroll. I'm the daughter that is gossiped and rumored about. Patsy Dawkins and the Dawkins and Lee family are well aware of who I am. Patsy is anyway. Etna, the Dawkins family knows this, and so do I. And they have, I'll be back in 2 and 2 for this self-love connection. As I was saying, I finally tracked down my birth parents. I remember them both from a little girl. I'm going to share with you some things that happened in Mississippi back in those days, because I learned that my dad, Mr. Cabin, as I affectionately called him, his name is Sidney Portier. I called him Daddy. I spent more time with my daddy than I did. I really didn't spend time with my mom. I am highly astute in spirituality, Sarah Marie. Since you informed me that I was absolutely going to have a difficult time in recapturing my spirituality, well, guess what? I got it today. And going through this journey of the kidnapping that the Dixon police out here had did to me, and now are prosecuting me for felony charges for standing up to authority. That's all I did in a blacked out sleepwalking state. They broke into my house, this apartment that I'm in right now. The Dixon police, the sheriff department, Killian Lally, the lead gang member, dressed in plain clothes. I'll be back in 2 and 2 with this personal self-love connection. Now, Merle used to always say, Pastor Stephanie doesn't look like you. There's nothing about her body that looks like your body. Her forehead isn't like yours. She has a peculiar forehead. She looks familiar, but I can't place her. And whatever it is, she doesn't want to sit on your lap. She don't like you, and I didn't. Because I know she's not my mom, no more than Robert is my dad. I did my research. I learned Sidney Portier was in Mississippi, and he was a part of the civil rights movement along with the other famous actor. I can't think of his name right now. Harry Belafonte. So there's a movie that my mom and dad played in called Porgy and Bess. I haven't seen this movie, but I know my mom. That's why I fell in love with the movie Claudine and watched it over and over and over again. I was such a little girl, I couldn't remember my dad's face, but I know he's a black man. And when I say black, I'm talking about like this nightcap I have on. I'll be back in 2 and 2. And I've been praying about this. I've been begging Patsy since they kidnapped me to let me go back up there. Now I know what up there was. It wasn't even Mississippi. It was New York City. I learned that my parents had a 10-room apartment in New York. And my preschool building in Mississippi, where my dad did travel, was blown up by 3 or 4 black men. I died. However, I was revived, and my left eye was damaged. I am so angry because I kept asking the Lord, why are these people who are stealing my possessions so intrigued and keep stealing my photo albums of all my family pictures? They've stolen all my pictures with the exception of a few that I have remaining. I wanted to know, why is it that the Dawkins Lee family ostracized me and took my kids away from me? I got answers to all of that. I sound like my dad, and I'm not even trying to. And I look like my mom and dad. They loved me dearly, and they raised me righteously. I learned that's where I get my resilience and spirit from, my parents. I'm pissed. So you all want to prosecute me for kidnapping me and attempted to murder me? Trooper A. Hamrick in York, let's fight. Brian Crowley, you better get it together. Robert Thompson and Doug and Nikki, you all better get it together. Because my defense is automatism. Killian Lally, you raped me. And I just want to know if you all gang raped me in my blacked out sleepwalking state. You searched my home and seized my phone, took the virus off of it, and called my emergency contacts because you couldn't get in it because I have a pin on it so that you have to unlock the pin to use it except for making emergency calls. And that's how you were able to use my phone to call my son and my daughter. But you didn't call my oldest son, did you? Because he's National Guard. I'm fucking pissed. I got my personal power back, and I have recaptured my fucking spirituality, Sarah Marie. So Patsy, and the judge in Maywood Courthouse, I'm coming after y'all for that illegal order of protection that you put in to separate me and my child, like the 1401 slave trade that passing them do all the fucking time. So, I used to beg Patsy all the time to let me go back up there. I want to go home, Patsy. I want to go back up there. I don't want to be here. I want to go back up there. New York. The 10-bedroom apartment that my parents had. I know about all the gossip and shit, and I'm not finna entertain that bullshit. I'm the oldest of 8 girls. I don't know if I was born in 1965 or before, but I know I'm a goddamn American citizen, Trump. So ICE don't come knocking on my fucking door. My dad and mom are American citizens and iconic stars. So where's my money? I know my dad, being a wealthy man, and my mom, being a wealthy woman, didn't leave me with absolutely nothing, Patsy. And I told you as a little girl, you and Robert, y'all taking my money. You bought that house in Oak Park with my money. But yet I gotta beg the Social Security office here in Sterling, Illinois, who decides 4 months after I was discharged from Elgin that they're going to take even my Social Security money. No, the fuck you ain't. I worked for my money. I'm working now for that goddamn Social Security money. Disability, that is. It's only $26,000 a year. I got a master's degree, and I only get $26,000 a year, Zorka. $18 an hour, Zorka, for caregiving. A 50-cent raise, and I have a master's degree and a business, and I bring it all to European Services. Celia, you did not meet with me like you were supposed to, and you told me to not report to Hank Washburn's house until we met, and I didn't. And he was my only client that I had at European Services. So why'd you fire me and blame me for a 28-day no show, no here? So Patsy, when I took you to the window on Jackson at 5549 West Jackson Boulevard, and I told you, and I pointed to the sky, I was talking about getting on an airplane. I want to go back up there. I made it very clear to you. You're not my mama. And Robert, because of Monica, went on and confessed and told the truth that he wasn't my dad. Now, you Dawkins and you Lees have abused me. Pastor, you neglected me. And I've been exploited and sold like a trade commodity on the market. Bernard Logan, who told me he invested in me. Everybody knows I'm the wife. I'm the last to know. So as I promised, by giving my word, that's the only way I make promises. Solar plexus, personal power. I've gotten mine, Sarah Marie Woods. I have recaptured my spirituality, Monroe Street Church of Christ. Now, y'all better show me my goddamn money and where's that and who got it and who stole it. I have sisters. Bab, you raped me at 8 years old. I don't fucking know how old I am because according to Passy, I'm an old woman. The birth certificate that you all forged, and according to what I learned, you really didn't forge it, is how y'all did guardianship back in the 60s. So you didn't forge it. It's an authentic birth certificate. And like you told me, Passy, my mom told you that my name is Stephanie Renee Poirier. So Passy, I had to wait until I was 33 years old to put my name on a birth certificate where you listed yourself as a mom at 22 years old. The dad is 21 years old to a female black Negro. You guys. That's the reason why I hate racist white people. And I hate greedy, jealous, envious, and covetous black folk. But I have to give you black folk a head up. You ain't crazy like white people. White people so fucking crazy that they take real life people as if they're figurines in a curio. Dixon, Lee County, Illinois. You gotta get in on it too. Kelsey and Gabriel across the hall picking my lock. Henrietta, y'all stealing my stuff. Y'all better get my Keurig back and all the stuff y'all took. Chris, you better get my money back. Beautiful. I'm not going to pay with my security deposit for a faulty fixture air conditioning unit. You all are slumlords. The owner of this property is dead, Thomas Darland, and it's in a trust. But let's see who's going to have this property now and who's going to manage it. Beautiful. It is you all's responsibility to get this mold out of here. I'm not going to use bleach and scrub mold from a baseboard where you all broke into my apartment and partying up in here And Killian Lally, I don't care what the handle bows like on the Frigidaire in the kitchen. You raped me, motherfucker. I know when the fuck somebody raped me. I got all that blood coming out of my pussy while y'all had me kidnapped in jail, and I'm believing I'm in a Catholic church building getting an exorcism by the priest or preparing to get one anyway. Judge Ackert, you just gotta put me on probation and prohibition and accuse me of being a drug addict. And we ain't even at trial yet, but you are abusing your authority as a judge. You closed the courthouse on Wednesday, November 27, 2025. Did you send warrants of arrest out for everybody who you decided not to present on the docket that afternoon? Because I came up there at 12 o'clock and the courthouse was closed because of holiday celebrations. So I want to know if in the law, if it's legal for a judge to issue a warrant of arrest when the courthouse decides to close to celebrate a holiday and not for an emergency. So you kidnap me, you hide me in plain sight, and not even so at the Lee County, Dixon, Illinois sheriff's jail, but every time I come out the room, y'all changed something, and I ain't left the room and something different has changed, and I hear all these people and all these noise and some man going, running, crying, boo-hooing, boo-hooing. Whoever this case 243 is talking about, I did something to him. The only thing I did was tell y'all to leave that meal tray open because I needed to breathe. My calves were blowing up like watermelons because of you all's abuse and kidnapping, exploitation of me here in Dixon, Illinois. I am Sidney Poitier's and Diane Carroll's daughter, and the rumors have gotten out, and y'all keep stealing my stuff, including my family albums. Chris, you were going to just take all my stuff out the apartment? What's your name? Doreen, whatever your name is. You just got to charge me $50 late fee for a faucet that, because I was so angry what y'all did to me, that I had to express my anger somehow, and all I did was pull the faucet off the base. Beautiful, unscrewed it with the big screw that was latched under the bottom of the sink. The sprinkler is where the water was coming from. I had nothing to do with that. I told you, Chris, that water splashed in the garage. Doreen, Dorka, whatever the fuck your name is. You took pictures. You took pictures of the 4 bags of garbage that were in the corner after I cleaned up, Chris. You cleaned up behind burglars. And then you tell me you're not going to give me back my $2,600. I'm not responsible for the water that went down to the ceiling of 1W. Whatever you police officers did on the corner here when Clinton was here and was getting ready to leave that day, I was scared. I thought you all were coming up here to get Clinton because he was finna call himself beating me up that day. And I told him, look, you better sit your ass down. I'm not the kind of woman that's going to be walking around with no goddamn black, blue, purple eyes and busted lips. And Clinton is the kind of man that he listens to wisdom. And he went and got his ass in that room and sat the fuck down and closed the door like I told him. Now my body is in a threat mode because of what you all have done out here in Dixon, Illinois to me. But you all didn't start this. Patsy started with her witchcraft. But Virginia Cummings put this particular curse on me. She invited me to her house for a ghetto burger. I don't know what the fuck you put in that goddamn hamburger. And what was going on with that leg machine. And what was that chamomile bottle poured in a medicine bottle all about. You're a nurse, Virginia Cummings. My shit is still fucked up from the threat that you put on me in 2017. I told you you're a bitch. And you a bitch. And you are too, Patsy. I ain't the kind of bitch y'all are. Y'all are ravenous, wicked ass hoes. Now this is the solar plexus chakra. The color is yellow. And the element is fire. And I'm ready to blow mine out like a fucking dragon. You think that my daddy, that I already know his demeanor and his dapperness, and I gotta learn about him from a public perspective? Same thing with my mama. I know her personally. I know about that 10-bedroom apartment in New York City. I was there. Pastor, you better get my real birth certificate. I don't care nothing about the legal guardianship birth certificate. I don't know when I was born, year. I don't know if it's December 23rd. But Trump, I know I was born in America. And my parents are American. My dad has a Bahamian Haitian background, but the rumors, according to Passy, he's supposed to be Nigerian. I doubt it. If he's anything, he's like what Monica here in her rumors, Somalian. Now, I'm tired of these racist white people out here in Dixon, Illinois. I'm tired of these groupie black people. Henrietta Mack down. All of a sudden, she's Henrietta Mack now, showing me that she affiliates with Eugene Oliver Mack Sr. Eugene, you better get that bitch out my house because I'm coming from my house. Judge, when I came to Kendall County Courthouse to ask you and tell you and inform you that there's a strike through on the last page of the marriage settlement agreement and that it was a post-nuptial agreement and that Eugene and I are not divorced at all, I told you all that in the clerk's office at Kendall County. It's a post-nuptial agreement. Eugene, I didn't give you my house. And Judge Voidland, you better not have given him my house either, because those are things that have to be handled in the estate and probate court, not just in your court. And you all don't have an estate and probate court, at least at that time you didn't, out there at Kendall County Courthouse in Yorkville, Illinois. Judge Krantz, you just gotta condemn me to Hassett House. Judge Buick, I filed a motion about the domestic abuse and violence that Eugene was putting on me. You threw me out the courthouse and then you ran your little white trashy ass over to DeKalb County. Falguni Chokshi, I'm suing you. Rolanda Mitchell and Zagaldo, I'm coming after y'all too. Rolanda Mitchell, how you gonna force me to give Falguni my security deposit? How are you gonna honor out of jurisdiction order of protection from Falguni Chokshi, and she don't even own the house, and she never even let me know that she had even filed an order of protection and it was only good for 3 days. Bolingbrook Police, you just couldn't arrest Donna Sizzler for harassing me and stealing my shit, which I told you, and you devalued it. And I told you it costs more than that, Officer Hernandez. Geico, you just got to cancel my insurance and list me as a fraud because of semantics. I don't give a fuck if I said vandalize or if I said collision accident, which I said vandalize. Linda, you black bitch. You introduce yourself as a claims adjuster, but in reality, you were really a special investigator. You were supposed to tell me that you were a special investigator and you were investigating my claim. Underwriting department at Geico. Why I gotta be a fraud? I don't give a fuck if you took a picture or video and saw me at the back of my truck looking at the dent. I didn't notice it until August when I was at Hassett House, like I told you. And as far as I'm concerned, my car was vandalized. If Geico says collision accident, I don't give a fuck about semantics. I put a fucking claim in because my car was damaged. Guy at Public Storage, I'm not talking about you, Nason. Nason told me that when I get insurance on my storage unit, if anything should happen, I will not lose my storage for paying the insurance. I said, well, how does that really work? He said, it just works. If anything should happen and you don't pay your storage, we won't do anything to you. You just have to catch up with whatever past due fees that you didn't use to pay my storage. But yet you're going to sell all of my paintings that Eugene Oliver Max Sr. painted for me, a renowned artist. His artwork is in the White House at Washington, D.C. Lorena, Lindsay, you, and I told the officers, I told Eugene, and I told you, you're dating a married man. He's still married to me. We're not divorced. There's a strike through. He breached the marriage settlement agreement. He took my kids from me, and he kicked me out of the house, and he wasn't supposed to do that. We were supposed to remain in cohabitation because it's a post-nuptial agreement. I wasn't supposed to move out. We were just supposed to establish whether we would continue in cohabitation as it is or have a contract of a landlord-tenant accommodations. Now that is in the marriage settlement agreement. Judge, whatever your name is, that call yourself declaring a divorce just because you're a judge. That's not how it works. On Facebook, I do want to boost these posts. I want this public. I'm looking for anybody with CNN, anybody that had anything to do with the civil rights movement, because that's what Trump got his panties in a bunch all about with the Obamas, the civil rights movement. My daddy was a prominent figure in that, because I used to wonder why was he always leaving me with Beatrice Dawkins, my governess, Medea, who was the governess for all the kids down there in Winstonville, Mississippi. I found that out today. AI told me. AI. Is that why everybody's so fucking scared of AI? Because of all the criminal activity that you all have done and still doing the 1401 transatlantic slave trade, calling it human trafficking and missing persons?